Socrates once said that the only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing. I remember when I used to be a kid, I was a teenager in high school, and I was just like any other teenager, right? You're just trying to go through school, you're trying to learn, you're trying to make friends, you're trying to become popular, whatever your goal was. My goal was just to study and to get through this thing. But in studying, I realized that I was smarter than other people. Or maybe that was just my own perception, but I seemed to grasp concepts quickly. And so I remember I would be at home at the dining table. We would have friends over, and I would sit there with the friends, and I would start to talk to them, and I would start to use the things and the concepts that I'd learned in school. And I was in this age of infinite wisdom, the age where you think you know everything. But the only true wisdom is knowing that you know nothing. So as you go about this journey, what you have to realize is that there's always more to learn. You'll never know enough. And there's beauty and humility in realizing that even though you know something about something, you don't even know the half. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And the iceberg runs deep beneath the surface. So here's what you can do, right? First, you need to humiliate yourself. You need to make yourself okay with being the person that doesn't know anything. In the book, The 48 Laws of Power, one of the laws is always say less than necessary. Because the person who says less than what is necessary always seems to be more intelligent. What you should do is you should speak confidently as though you're right, but you should listen as though you're wrong. Because that allows you to learn. Every single time somebody's saying something, you don't already know it. They could be teaching you something new. And believe me, I've realized that you can learn something from everybody. Even the dumbest person, the person that you think has nothing to offer you, they have some life experience that you haven't experienced yet. Maybe they failed in a way that you haven't failed in your life, and that gives you perspective. That gives you the ability to see things from their point of view. The bottom line is this. In life, we go about it as though we know what we need to know, and the truth is we don't. We don't know anything. You don't know anything. And that's a beautiful thing, because that means that there's so much more to grasp, there's so much more to know, there's so much more to feel, there's so much more to understand. And I realized that, especially when dealing with people, you think you know somebody, and then as soon as you think that, they surprise you. Well, why did they surprise you? What you have to do is you have to enter their spirit. You have to get inside them. You have to literally get outside of yourself, put yourself on the back burner, stop considering what you feel and what you think and what you understand about the situation, and then put yourself inside that person as if you were literally inside their body, as if you were literally seeing the world from their eyes. Because as humans, as people that are experiencing this world, we're not only experiencing it, but we're also observing it. We're not only observing it, but we're also perceiving it and understanding our experience. And I'm realizing that we're not human beings having a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. And so that means that you can take yourself out of yourself and enter the spirit of somebody else, so that you can truly understand where they're coming from and understand them as a human being. You can understand their motivations, you can understand their desires, you can understand their insecurities. And by doing so, you get a much more complete picture. But you have to be wary, because people are always in a state of flux. Because of their emotional state, because of how much humans are ruled by their emotions, you can't just sit there and expect that because you made this observation, because you entered their spirit, now you fully understand them. You never fully understand anything. The only truth is the present moment. The only truth is right now. But what you can do is you can watch their actions, because their actions tell you where their motivation lies, where their thoughts are, where their emotions are. So the best advice to you is to take yourself out of the equation and put on their shirt, and then really see how things fit from their perspective. Because only then will you start to understand what you need to understand about people, so that you can really start to improve yourself, and so that you can really start to improve your relationships with people. I've made the mistake of assuming that I understand somebody. I've made the mistake of thinking that I know somebody well enough to predict how they're going to react to something. And everything is situational. A previous observation won't do you in the present moment. It won't be enough. So take this as a cautionary tale, and understand that, one, if you make people think that you're more intelligent than them, they'll feel insecure. And if they feel insecure, they'll be envious. You don't want that. If anything, you should show your mistakes. You should show some of your insecurities. Use a little bit of humor. Like self-deprecating humor, like that humor that puts yourself down a little bit, that's so effective. I've had times where, people think you're this high and mighty person because you're gifted, you're talented, you're handsome. But at the end of the day, everybody suffers from the same condition, which is the human condition, the inherent suffering of existing. So just understand that people are also suffering, and that you're never really alone. And the fact that you're a spiritual person, that you're somebody who is experiencing this experience that we have as humans, you can actually get inside people and understand where they're coming from. And that's the true nature of empathy, is really entering their being as a person. I hope this made some sort of sense to you. Drop me a comment and let me know what you think. That's it. You got this, bro. Peace.